was it a failure? The first question, was it a failure?
No, because bare minimum, you have to at least get one chip. Bare minimum.
Okay.
But I think But you could almost make the argument and say, yes, it was a failure because you're playing for the Lakers. You're not playing for the Cavs. You're not playing for the Heat. Granted, Miami's a historic franchise too, but you're not the Lakers. You're not Boston. You're not those teams. You're in LA.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a superstar city, regardless of COVID or not.
Mm-hmm.
If you're LeBron in the midst of your prime and you leave Cleveland after what had transpired, you should at least get 2. You should at least make 2.
And also, keep in mind, they were the championship favorite, or at least...
Yes, they were heading into the season.
Yes.
But that fits my Russell Westbrook narrative, which I've had since 2016.
I don't think it's Russell's fault, though. But I've said that
but look, it's LeBron's fault. It's the construction's fault. It's AD's fault. It's Russell Westbrook's fault. It's Vogel's fault. There's like 5-6 different things you can blame, right?
Yeah.
So, but I'm just saying with my Westbrook agenda that I've always had, it fits that narrative. Is it a failure? I will say no, because you bare minimum, you won 1 chip in 4 years. You won a chip, regardless if it's a bubble ring or not, which I think is still valid. I'm not one of these people, right? No, not a failure. You got your chip, but the expectation of playing for the Lakers, you're LeBron James. You traded the entire team away for Anthony Davis, who is an injury-prone, who is not even...
80% of the games as a Laker in his 4 years?
No, exactly. And the thing is, he's not going to be able to take over this franchise when LeBron's tenure's done. Because AD he can't stay in health. He's too injury-prone and he can't stay healthy. Thank you. So, overall, was it a failure? No. What would I rate it out of 10? The expectations on top of having one season in 4 years of even winning a playoff series, I give it a 4 out of 10. I give it a straight 4 out of 10 because you're telling me if I would have gone and told you 4 years ago when LeBron left Cleveland and said he's joining LA, because this is before we knew about AD, you're like, oh, they got Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, like Julius Randle. I think was Julius Randle. No, I don't think Randle was on the team. He's in New Orleans. Was he? Yeah. So you had that was right before.
No, he was not.
I don't think so. I don't think Randall was there. But the point is, you had a young squad, right? And you're in LA. Regardless if you want to say LeBron had the groin injury and he had a bunch of young guys who weren't ready. That's a fair statement, and I'm not taking that away from him. But, okay, you didn't even make the playoffs. You didn't make the playoffs again this year. You got bounced last year, and you had AD and LeBron. I know they weren't healthy. Phoenix was on a different level. You got slacked.
And you were up 2-1 in that series.
I think they were down 2-1.
They were up.
They were up 2-1 in that series?
I'm pretty sure they were.
Okay. Well, I'll take your word for it. You go look for that right now. Regardless, you're telling me in 4 seasons LeBron James has been in LA, he's only had 1 season in which he's even won a playoff series? None of them have been at the Staples Center or the Crypt. None of them. Because their only playoff series in which they actually did anything was in a bubble. So, not even LA fans get to enjoy that. So... his tenure in LA is not a failure.
Yeah, they were
but did it? Okay, but did it live up to expectations? Absolutely not. You're telling me LeBron James can't even get to another conference finals with the type of caliber play that he is? No.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. No, it gets a 4 out of 10, and that's as absolute high as I will go.
Yeah, he's very fortunate he was able to get a championship because it would have been it would have been terrible
if he didn't win that in the bubble. Man, it would have been.
It would have been a failure for sure. It would have been
that GOAT debate would really been hindered, especially in LA, and especially in LA. It would have
been a question for sure
in LA.
Now, to answer the questions I asked you, I think he's definitely around that 4 range as well out of 10. I wouldn't say it was a failure essentially because you did win a championship.
Could make an argument because you're in LA.
Exactly, but the thing about it is, like you said, right? You don't know how the league is going to transpire year to year, and I get that. So in year 1, him making that leap to the Lakers was a very okay, if LeBron can do it with these guys, then shit, he's really that dude he's a GOAT.
He's trying to think of that with Westbrook too.
So what happened after that? They traded away all their valuable pieces.
Everyone.
Brandon Ingram becomes an all-star. Julius Randle becomes an all-star. Lonzo Ball is a very solid point guard.
I think Jordan Clarkson got traded to Cleveland.
And Clarkson became a 6th man of the year.
Right.
All right. So they all have had success at all their destinations they've been to.
D'Angelo Russell. Everyone that left the Lakers became successful.
So, but I don't think D'Lo played with him.
No, he didn't. But I'm just saying, he was, a Laker. So yada yada yada.
They bring in AD, right? So when you bring in AD, your expectations at the time, because Golden State is
Still Golden State.
No, they're not. KD gone.
Oh, KD had just left. That's right.
KD's gone.
Yeah. He's in Brooklyn with Kyrie for the first season.
The Clippers aren't.
Kawhi came into town with Paul George.
Yeah, that was the year?
Yep.
Okay, so the Clippers are making a move. So the West is starting to shape up to, okay, well, it's going to be a Clipper and Laker West, right? Because the Warriors have fell off. The Suns weren't thing.
Portland was still a good team.
Portland was solid, but you were better than them.
Yep.
Dallas wasn't there yet.
Utah wasn't quite there yet. They were consistent, but they weren't there yet.
Yeah, and then also, I'm trying to think of any other teams. The Nuggets weren't there yet. And, yeah, so...
It was really like an LA type of thing.
It was an LA vibe, right? It's okay, boom. I know the Clippers made some moves, but I have arguably two top five players in the league on my team. Plus, I sprinkle in guys like Dwight Howard,
Alex Caruso, Kyle
Kuzma. I have a championship roster.
Yeah, KCP,
boom, right? So you win a championship with that roster, right? Cool. Year 2 is the same roster. You don't lose anybody.
Yeah, no.
You don't, I mean...
Just injuries.
It's injuries, right?
But granted, they had AD in the playoffs.
Had AD in the playoffs.
He didn't miss any games in the playoffs, if I don't remember.
He played unbelievable in the playoffs. He turned into... this dude might be the best power forward in the league. He's better than Giannis.
LeBron got waxed in the playoffs,
He did, man.
Didn't he walk off the court?
Yeah, he did. So it's kind of like... the way... It kind of started, okay, well, LeBron has excuses that he can rely on. But as years went on, man, like, you built this team. Constructed it the way you wanted to, and you really put a hand. You really put your hand in this team this offseason because everybody knows that you wanted Russell Westbrook. You didn't want DeMar DeRozan
or Buddy Hield.
You wanted Russ. You traded for Russ. You lost more of your assets. You lost KCP, who's turned it around.
Caruso,
who's a very reliable knockdown shooter and a very solid defender.
Montrez.
Yes, Kuzma. No one thought that Kuzma was going to be anything, but he turned it up this year. You lost what? You lost.
Montrezl
Harrell. And you signed him to a big deal.
JaVale
McGee. You lost
Rondo.
Caruso. Rondo. Well, you traded Rondo.
You traded Rondo, but yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like, this is all... We all know the GM's a real thing.
No, absolutely.
So, I'm looking at him like, damn, bro, like... Man, you really just lucky you got that championship, man, because I think Laker fans are kind of getting tired of this, man. They really want him... I feel like a lot of Laker fans want him gone. Like, just to trade it away. Because they have no draft picks now. Like, around now... The thing about it, like, as you said, okay, if LeBron's supposed to fall off the cliff, we have someone to take over and it can be the lead
but
franchise.
He can't, though.
He can't. It's still LeBron in year 19.
Yeah.
So, my next question is, since they're officially eliminated from the playoffs, what happens this offseason? What should he do?
If I'm the Lakers, If 29 other teams out there even think I would take Russell Westbrook, who's obviously going to opt into his player option, $47.3 million, making Russell Westbrook the highest paid player in the NBA next season, which is ridiculous. Okay, but that was his contract that he was given from OKC that moved him 4 teams in 4 seasons. If you can trade anything to get Russell Westbrook off your books, do it. Okay, that's priority number 1. Priority number 2 is... LeBron, do you still think that you have enough to, facilitate between Anthony Davis and the rest of our role players to elevate them and make them better? Probably not. You trade AD. I think you actually have to blow the team up. You don't trade LeBron unless he says he wants to get traded. Even if it's tempting, you can't even throw the rumors out there that LeBron's open for trade without consolidating him first, right?
I would. So go ahead, my bad.
No, you're good. Just you the glamour, the limelight, the celebrity that LeBron is, and obviously the basketball player that he is. You can't trade him. I keep LeBron around because he's LeBron. Like I said, unless he wants to leave, and I trade AD, you get valuable compensation while he's still young-ish, still somewhat in the midst of his prime if he can stay healthy. If you're able to move off Westbrook, you're not going to get anything for Westbrook. Let me just keep that real. You're not going to get anything valuable in return. But you're also going to lose out on a lot of guys who are on 1-year veteran deals from, I think, Carmelo Anthony, Kent Bazemore, Wayne Ellington. Malik Monk is there to stay. THT, I think, is coming up on contract soon.
Right now.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys, man, a lot of these guys are on 1-year deals. So I really don't... No, they just don't have the roster construction. They don't have the cap space. They don't have the draft capital in the future. This team is not going to be good.
Yeah, they're
for the next 8 years.
Yeah,
seriously,
they're in trouble, man.
Unless they pull some Sam Presti, but that's not happening.
Yeah,
that's just my thoughts on it. My priority 1 and 2 is move Westbrook, move AD, whatever else happens, let it happen.
I think,
and we got to wrap up soon because the thing's about to die.
I got you. Oh, the charge not working?
No, I didn't plug it in. That's my fault.
Okay,
that's my fault.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up with this right here. How long you think I left?
Like, not even 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. If I'm the Lakers, I trade away all three.
I mean, I'd love to, but I just don't. I don't think you can move LeBron unless he says I want to be moved.
And I think LeBron. We talked about the selfishness of LeBron. Like, I think is looking at, okay, I need to be selfless for like, not for once, but like looking at it like, I know we're not gonna be able to compete for a championship next year. I know you don't have the assets to compete in the future. Let me just get off the books, bring you guys some continuity. You know what I'm saying? Trade me away. I think that all three get dismissed. If anybody,
I wonder where he'd go. Though. That's the crazy thing.
I think if anybody says it'll be Russ, because you can start building around Russ and stuff like that.
No,
Russ with average players is going to get the job done. Maybe
okay, but the LA doesn't need that. You don't think LA fans are already tired of Russell after this season?
That's true. So you trade around all three. I mean,
you trade all three, but I'm telling you, you have to trade Westbrook and AD, no question. LeBron, I'm letting stay because he's the biggest celebrity in the world, like athletic celebrity. If that's all.
And also too, if you can move AD, you get back in that Damian Lillard conversation and trade AD to Portland, get Damian Lillard and whatever else they want. See if you can let Russ go off the books for like some draft picks,
like a second, like 2 seconds
or something like that.
That's really what you're going to get.
Player that no one wants that you can bring in. He can be an all-star, not even all-star, but play like one.
Just play like a role player. Just play like a solid role player. Get Danilo Gallinari. There you go. That's what you'll get for Russell Westbrook at this point.
But Russ and trade, that'll be nasty.
Yeah, we'll see, man. But